My ex-husband cheated on me like a million times, and it was actually 15 times that I know about. So it was probably more like 80. I'm Danielle Ford, the founder of Young Moms Club and also a victim of chronic cheating. If you too are a victim of cheating and you're wondering whether you should forgive him or not, then you need to watch this video because I'm about to make it pretty easy for you to figure out what is the best thing to do. Every single time I would catch my husband cheating, it would be the same exact sob story. I don't know why I did it. I'm so stupid. Oh, she means nothing to me. You're the only one. I love you so much. Blah, 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 blah. I grew up in a split home. My parents were divorced by the time I was 2 weeks old. So ever since I was a little girl, I always knew that I wanted to get married and have a family and never, ever, 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 ever get divorced. I also grew up very Christian. I went to a Christian private school. So it was kind of beaten into me that divorce was the devil. Because I was so determined to make the marriage work, I tried everything that I could think of to get past it. Everything from marriage counseling to threatening him. I even considered just being open to the fact that he was just going to cheat on me forever, and that's just how my life was going to be. So after a year of trying unsuccessfully to make him stop cheating on me, I finally gave up. I packed up my kids in my car and I left him and I filed for divorce. Thank God. For me, the right decision was divorce, but that doesn't mean that it's that way for everybody. And it doesn't mean that there's no way to get past the cheating. If you're in a situation where you're trying to decide whether you should forgive him or if you should just end the relationship after cheating, then there are 3 questions that you need to ask yourself and you need to answer really honestly. And don't worry, you don't have to write this or comment. This is for you only to answer, but you have to tell the truth to yourself. The first question is, if you chose to forgive him, would you actually really be able to let it go? That means actually forgiving him, not throwing it in his face every time you get upset, not freaking out every time he goes out, and not wondering constantly if he's with another girl. And there's no right or wrong answer to this. It has nothing to do with your maturity level or how much you love him. It's just, will you be able to let it go or not? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, then stop right there. Take this advice from a girl who used to check every single pocket, search through his car, drive past his work just to make sure he was there and he wasn't lying. It fucking sucks. That is just no way to live. It is miserable. I promised myself that if I ever felt like I had to check pockets or drive past his work to see if he's there, it would be done. The second question, if you choose to forgive somebody after cheating, is to ask yourself, if it were to happen again, even though you let it go, would you be able to get past it, or would it completely destroy you? If you know that you're strong enough to not take it personally and just know that he's the idiot and it's his loss, then it might be worth a shot if you answered yes to question number 1. But if you know that it would totally destroy you if he cheated again, especially after putting all that work in, then it's not worth it. It's not worth losing yourself over. After my ex-husband's final affair, I realized that I couldn't handle it if it happened again. I was starting to get really depressed. I was blaming myself. I was wondering what was wrong with me. What did I do wrong? Is there something that I'm missing? And it was destroying my self-esteem. And I knew that I seriously wouldn't survive it if I had to go through it all again. The final question that you need to ask yourself, and you need to ask him to be sure, is there something that can be fixed or changed to make sure that this never happens again? If cheating is happening, then there's something wrong. And I don't mean wrong with you. This is all him. But there needs to be a reason why he cheated. You might know what it is, but he has to actually say it. And if he doesn't know what it is, then he needs to spend some time figuring it out. And if he isn't willing to self-analyze and to really work through the problem, well, that tells you something right there. Is his excuse that he was drunk and he was just making bad decisions? Well, then he needs to either stop drinking or he needs to not go out drinking if you are not there, and he needs to agree on it. Is his excuse your relationship? Like maybe he says that you haven't spent enough time together or that you've been fighting a lot lately. Even though these are things that can be fixed or changed, he doesn't get to put the blame on you. If he wasn't feeling close enough to you, well then he should have figured out a way to talk to you about it. If he was just so sick of the fighting, well, he should have figured out a way to end the fighting and not just gone out and put his dick in someone else. Bottom line is that he needs to give you a solid reason for his cheating, and he needs to figure out a way to work through it and give you a plan that he's going to do to change. I dragged my husband to weekly marriage counseling for months, and every single time the therapist would ask him, "Why is it that you think you cheat?" And the only response he would ever give would be, "I don't know, I'm just stupid." Our therapist would keep trying to work with him on figuring out why he was cheating on me, but he would not cooperate. So every single session would become the Danielle show, where I would just sit there and cry and talk about everything from my childhood to my struggles as a young mom to my grandma dying to what I bought at the grocery store that morning. And the entire time, Douchehead would just sit there like an asshole. And I'm actually really grateful that I did all of that therapy. Even though it had nothing to do with the cheating issue, I think without it, I would probably be way more crazy than I am. The final straw for me was one night after, months of the Danielle show in therapy, I just got super pissed off. I was just jumped up and went to him and I got in his face and I was like, "Give me a reason why you cheat. Give me a reason. Tell me why you cheat. Give me a reason. Give me a reason. Give me a reason. Tell me you're a sex addict. Tell me that doing something wrong gives you a huge rush. Tell me that you don't like our sex. Tell me that there's something wrong with me. Tell me that cheating makes you feel like a super macho guy. Give me any reason. Tell me something. Give me some reason that we can fix." And then he was like, "I'm just stupid." So I just stopped and I stood there and I looked at him right in the face and I said, "Well, you can't fix stupid. I'm not going to marriage counseling anymore. Peace out." A week later, I packed up my babies and what possessions I could fit into my car, and I drove 1,000 miles back to my hometown. So like I said in the beginning of the video, divorce was the best option for me because my ex-husband is a super moron. But that doesn't mean that getting past cheating isn't possible. If you answered yes to all 3 questions, then there's hope. And when there's hope, there's love. And when there's love, there's hope. Boom, awesome quote. Click the link below and tweet that shit out. That's all for today. If you liked this video, then please like it and head over to youngmomsclub.com and get on the VIP list where I talk about a lot more of this kind of stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Hang in there and message me if you need to talk. I will see you next week. Every single session, say that 5 times fast. Single session. That's not easy. Single session.